Hey, what's up, guys? Just thought I'd put together a morning routine video for you to let you know, how I get up and just everything that has to do with getting up out of your camp in the morning. So, last night I stayed at the horse riders camp. There was nobody here. I think you're supposed to have a reservation. I didn't. So I just set up my tent, and normally when you're on the trail, the PCT or a through hike, you just kind of find a place to stay right off the trail. I've been struggling to find within the 30 plus miles that I've done so far on the Ice Age to find 10 sites that are available right off the trail. They're really not existent. So in the morning, when you get up, at least when I get up, it takes me a little bit to get up. Usually you start hearing the birds chirping at around, actually before the light comes up. So that's usually your alarm to wake you up. And then you start feeling all the soreness from the day before. You start feeling, your feet and your legs and how tight you are, and you just kind of start moving around. So after you get up, I put my sleeping bag back into my dry sack right away, and I deflate my sleeping pad and roll that up and put on my clothes that I wore the day before. And because typically when you're through hiking, you're gonna have one set of clothes to wear during the day and one set of clothes to wear at night, and really that's about it. So you want to try and keep your pack load as light as possible, and clothes do take up, you wouldn't think they do, but they do take up a fair amount of weight. So I gather my things, I put them into the series of separate bags. I try to compartmentalize a lot of my things into different dry sacks and different bags and baggies to just keep things organized. Having things color coded really helps too, because I know that my red bag is my food, my yellow bag is kind of miscellaneous, my black bag is for electronics and money and just other things that are small that I really don't want kind of banging around in my pack. Let's see. So I got pretty much everything laid out for you on the table, and you can kind of see, made some coffee this morning. I don't normally do that every morning, but I was sitting here and just eating my breakfast, which was just a Go Macro bar, and just decided to have a little bit of coffee. So it just depends on how you're feeling. If you feel really, at least for me, when I feel really good in the morning, I don't feel sluggish or I don't feel heavy, then I just get up and go. I'll eat a bar on the trail. Today, I'm trying to get back in the swing of things, and my body feels heavy, my body feels tight, I'm sore. I've got some blisters forming on my feet, so it takes a little bit more time to get going, and you have to be a little bit more sensitive, paying attention to your body. So the big things here, my cook set is super small. It's MSR, I don't know, Dragonfly, I think it's called. And all this fits right into this can right here, and so having your stuff all kind of fit inside each other is super important. You also want to make sure that the things that you do have serve multiple purposes with what you're going to be carrying on your back. Another essential item for me is going to be a jar of peanut butter. I went through I don't know, maybe 20 jars of peanut butter on the PCT. Pretty much every week I was going through at least one jar. My big ass battery right here, just charging my, well, was charging my phone. It's the Anchor 26 millihertz. It's a pretty big boy. It does weigh quite a bit, but you know, I wanted to have, I take a lot of videos, they take a lot of photos, so making sure that my phone is charged is super important to me. Plus the app that we use to maneuver through the trail is called Gut Hook, and that does obviously takes up your battery. My water purification bag I have set up in this little pack. I use the Sawyer, which I was struggling with the past couple days because I forgot to back flush this side with water before I left, so it was not coming out very strong. This is another item that you use because the Sawyer comes with these little tiny bags, and all they have is just this little hole, so it's hard to get water in when you're trying to scoop in water to filter. So this bag is a really awesome thing to have because the top comes off and you can literally just scoop the water that you need to filter and then hook it on to the bottom. And then you we all carry either, you know, I'm using Life Water because they didn't have the liter bottle, so you carry 2 liters of bottle with 2 liter bottles of water with you at a time. And then if I need to, so if I'm going through a stretch, you know, a stretch of miles where I know that there's not going to be enough water, I'll use the Platypus, and that's just an extra bag, and that's going to be 2 liters, an extra 2 liters that I do have. That's also super helpful at night, right before you're getting to camp, because getting water is not easy, and you don't want to have to do it all the time. So especially once you get to camp, you're tired, you're making your camp up, so you want to have enough water to make food, because you're going to need at least a liter or 2, probably a liter to make your food. Then you got to brush your teeth and wash up and all that, so you want to make sure you have some clean water for that. As you can see over here, I carried quite a bit of food. I've probably got, I don't know, enough food for 10 days with me, which is way more than I should, but that's just what I do. I always carry more food. This, like I said, my miscellaneous bag. I've got my journal in here and another book that I'm going to be writing in. And this is a huge hack for me, which, you know, I put on my feet every morning and at night. The Aquaphor, I feel, is a really good thing to have with you because it just keeps your skin on your feet nice and soft, and you don't want your heels cracking. When you pack your pack, I always put, you got to be strategic with how you pack your pack. So, you know, generally you want things that are heavy to be on the bottom and towards the back, you know, towards your back. You also have to consider when you're going to be taking this stuff out of your pack, because you don't want, if let's say, you know, you have to think ahead. So if you're going to be eating during the day and your food is all the way at the bottom of the pack, then you got to pull out all your stuff to you know, to get your food. So I always pull out a couple things. I don't eat a lot during the day, so I'm usually just eating a bar or a couple bars during the day. A lot of people use the sack that comes with their tent. I think it takes up too much room in your tent, and a lot of people that were on the trail didn't use that, even though it probably weighs half an ounce. It does add some extra weight, but when you're pulling out your pack, things that are softer can be pushed down a little bit harder or a little bit easier if they're at the top. So, and typically when you get to camp, your tent is going to be the first thing that you pull out of your pack. So I always put my tent, you know, the rain fly, the footprint, and the actual tent at the top, not in a bag. I just push it down into it, and that's actually, you wouldn't think that it would save room in the tent or in the bag, but it actually does. You want to think of, you know, your bag as it's got volume. So you want to take up every little piece of volume in your pack, and that's super important because you know, having bulkiness in your pack can be you know, it can just it cannot be good, you know, when you're hiking. So so that's pretty much it today, guys, for my gear summary and you know, just explaining how my morning routine goes. Being off the trail for since October, you know, coming back to hiking was just like riding a bike, and you know, felt a little rusty, but I got going pretty quick, and it feels really good to break out all my old stuff that I used last year. And I'm noticing that some of the stuff that I used is pretty worn now, and I'm definitely gonna have to trade some stuff out. So hopefully you guys have a great day, and hopefully you guys gain some insight on to how to pack your pack, and some of the things that that I use can hopefully help you down the road. Take care.